Welcome back to the hostess with the most. Is this your guy, the one and only Coach Tony? And welcome back to season 1, episode 6 of the Pull Up Podcast Show. And tonight we got a doozy for you. When I say a doozy, I mean a doozy. It's going to take you guys back in the backyard, to the streets, to the potholes, to hitting each other on the cars on the sideline. You may even get a couple bottles to tackle a couple guys. But before we get into the show, fam, drop
it. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up.
Man, you back with your boys to one and only Coach Tony on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Weekly, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Central, right here. Don't meet me here, beat me here. Tonight's show, boys, got a doozy. But make sure you like us, you share the show, and more importantly, subscribe to this show. Tonight, coming all the way from Miami by way of New Jersey. Yeah, by the Jersey Shores, like the boardwalk, baby. He's the co-owner of a American 7 football 7-on-7 league. I'm talking about like what we played in the backyard back in the day, baby. It's fun. It's exciting. It's growing in population. And people all over the country want to get in. We're going to find out tonight. Let's bring on my boy, Sener Korkusuz, with A7 football. Sener, what's up, baby? How you doing tonight?
Coach Tony, great to be with you.
Man, I'm excited. I'm ready to get my pads on, man. I played this backyard sport back in the day real good, man.
No pads, so that's it. Just a body and a ball. That's all you need. Man,
that sounds great. It's funny. Welcome to the Pull Up Podcast Show, man. This is one of the hottest sports podcasts that's coming on. We're young in the making, but we've been grabbing some tremendous audiences over the country. I've been trying to get you on this show for a minute. So you know how you and I have been going back and forth. So I want to thank you very, very much for coming on tonight. And want to make sure you guys that are listening tonight, if you have a question for Sener, please put it in the tagline, so we can make sure we answer that. But as we get started, Sener, let's go back to the early days, man. Let's kind of give the audience a little bit of your background. You're a New Jersey boy, man. Let's take it from there.
Yeah, grew up in New Jersey, playing football just like this. A lot of people will remember. We played in the parks, we played on the streets, we played in the playground, and we named the game all different kind of names. And and this is how not you only played in New Jersey, but all over the country. This was actually how football started. So growing up in New Jersey, this was a big thing. My business partner and I grew up in the same town. Our group of friends always played like this. We played Pop Warner football together. My business partner went on to play in high school and then in college. And so this was just what we knew, how to get a quick game together. 7-on-7 was just more logical than 11-on-11. And there are a lot of factors that just made it a quick, fast-paced game. It was fun. Right. It still is. And now we're turning this backyard football into a professional sport.
That's sweet. But back in the day, man, we made up our own rules, right? Like you from that city like I am. So some of the guys don't remember getting tackled on the street playing pothole to pothole, baby. And the out of bounds was a car. You get hit on the car, catch a pass. You may, hurt yourself, but hey, let's go. Let's get back going. The crazy part about it, man, is that not only was it fun, but it's like we got to the point, Sener, as kids, I'm sure you guys did in Jersey too, we started playing block versus block. Did you guys do that too?
That's exactly right. That's the origins of the American Sevens football, was town versus town. It was originally called town beef. It was a recreational thing thing, you know, that of course guys are playing on Sunday and they're working on Monday. And it hasn't changed from that point of view. But what has changed is the exposure from viral highlights to TV viewership across the country, and the expansion of the league from its origins in New Jersey to now 10 cities across the country.
Oh, wow. So let's go back into your high school days. You mentioned playing on a block, doing things. Did you yourself go on to play football in high school / college at all?
I didn't. In high school, I ran track. So I got out of football. I'm not sure that I avoided any CTE in the process, because when I was younger playing Pop Warner, you never thought about how hard you were hitting with those pads.
Correct.
Only afterwards, when you watch football and then you heard about CTE, etc., that you realize every play, helmet to helmet, you're hitting, and it adds up over the career. I loved to hit. I'll tell you, I played both sides. I was a receiver and a outside and inside linebacker. You know, that's a part of the game, traditional football.
Yeah. I had a guy like you kind of put me out, you know, and what you just said was correct. I was a quick guy, really quick, played very well before I stepped into the basketball arena, and that became my go-to sport. I was really good. I was a halfback / receiver, and center. I was putting up numbers, putting up yards. And one kid one day told me, "Man, Tony, I'm gonna put you out this game." I'm like, man, whatever. And caught me on the sweep. And like you said, back in the day, there was a helmet to helmet, chin to chin, and he caught me right under the chin. And I remember waking up, and next thing you know, I was in a basketball court. I never left the basketball court.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's unfortunately that's a fact of traditional football from the youth to the NFL. This to us is why we changed the game. We made it 7-on-7. We changed some of the rules. We made it safer in every aspect. We always were elevating the safety. And we did a study with the New Jersey Institute of Technology that over 2 seasons, with the biometric mouth guard and our athletes, starting to show that safety's elevated for our athletes. We need more research and more resources in this area. And so we'd love to have that. Open to anybody who's interested in discussing that with us. You can contact us via our website. There's technology that will continue to partner with certain companies developing certain technology that's potentially game changing in this sport. But the fact is, you remove the helmets and pads, you practically eliminate the repetitive head-to-head, helmet-to-helmet on every single play due to players' instinct, similar to rugby.
Right.
Okay. You're keeping your head out of the tackle. And we require wrap tackling as part of the rules. Still, it's a physical sport. It's real football. It is the way that we played as kids. Also, we played this as adults, as pickup football. This is only for adults right now, American Sevens football, 18 and older.
Right.
But there's guys across the country, and we're filling a gap of guys who need video coverage. They need that footage, but the big exposure opportunity to see yourself on Barstool Sports or Bleacher Report on Sports Center. And as we continue to professionalize our sport, we'll just keep making it better and better.
Oh, yeah. You know, and looking at that, you know, going back to you and Ryan. So you and Ryan have been knowing each other several decades, actually, man, since you guys been kids, right?
That's right.
So looking at that, and I think you were saying earlier that Ryan kind of had the football in his background, and you were more like a soccer guy, correct?
Yeah, I ran track and did soccer. That's right. Yeah.
So when you guys sit down to put this together, because I mean, you got to think of it like I can see that conversation, like, man, let's have some fun and take the backyard side street football game to the masses. So when you guys started to build this out, Sener, how did you sit down first of all, and start to lay the rules out. You mentioned a moment ago about no head on head, no shoulder, and actually the way that the league is kind of formatted, and the way that the players tackle one another, and the way that they play without the shoulder pads, you're pretty much more safer than the NFL, because if I put on a helmet, then I'm pretty much gangbusters. I'm going after you because I think I got the protection on my head, correct?
That's basically the instinct. Yeah. And by instinct, you go into a tackle, into a collision with the most protected part of your body. When you have a helmet and face mask on, that's the instinct. When you remove it, the instinct's to keep the head out. It's called risk homeostasis. There's plenty of research on this. We own no pads tackle football. And it's a sport for tough guys. It's not for everybody. If you think you're just going to get out there and it's a joke, by all means, you can register in any of our markets and you can get on the field if the coach puts you out there. But you'll have to prove yourself. And so the athleticism of our athletes is amazing. Our athletes range in age, but mostly in the younger 20s. Many of them played at the college level, of course, at the high school level. Some have gone on to even play in CFL or other football leagues, and we have athletes who have made it to the NFL practice squad.
Well, that's amazing. That is amazing. What we're going to do is I'm going to let Val cue this reel up, because I think that, it's amazing, because you and I have had an opportunity to know each other, but everyone that's listening tonight, this is one of the amazing shows. We got my guy, Sener, with the A7 Football League, 7-on-7, as he mentioned, no pads whatsoever, sitting here chilling tonight with your boy, Coach Tony, on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Make sure you like the show, share the show, but more importantly, subscribe to it. We're going to let Val play the clip real quick to kind of give this audience a little bit of insight. Val, cue that clip up real quick.
A lot can happen in 10 years, especially when you redefine America's favorite sport and make it even better.
I am a man at war, and I am fighting for all of the broken people.
We've grown to 34 teams, 10 divisions nationwide, and millions of global views.
A7s. Give it 5 minutes. It is awesome. These guys are goons.
So we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.
We've expanded distribution, added new partners, and revolutionized the game of football for an all-new generation of fans. Not only does the A7FL have twice as many 18 to 34-year-old viewers as the NFL, but our fans can find A7FL action and reaction all across social media.
No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.
For spring 2024, we've got 3 live games every Sunday. That's 9 hours of football and internet-breaking highlights all season long. A7FL Season 10. Let's get to work.
Man, I'm pumped up, sir. I'm ready to get on the team. Man, that is completely awesome. So this is our 10th anniversary on A7 football, and we've grown by leaps and bounds. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely amazing. If you guys have got any question for Sener tonight with A7 football, please make sure you put them in the drop line so Val can post them, as we're talking about the incredible 7-on-7 American Football League, not the NFL. We're talking about no pads in the backyard, the way we played it as kids. You got Sener tonight on air with my guy, Coach Tony, on the Pull Up Podcast Show. We're going to take a quick break after the first quarter here. We're going to pay some bills. We'll be right back to the show. Val, let's pay those bills.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the KeySpot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. KeySpot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. KeySpot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, we're back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your guy, Coach Tony, and my guy, Sener Korkusuz, with the A7FL, the co-chair CEO of the league. Sener, now I've got to ask a question myself. So as you are sitting down with Ryan and you guys are putting this league together, who decided we need to roll this out to grown men? You know, because obviously you guys could have did it as a 7-on-7 high school camp, correct? You could have did it that way. But then you decided, nah, we don't want to do that. We want to roll it out to these guys that are virtually out of high school, some of the guys who may not have gone on to college and play, some of the guys who went on to college, some of the guys who may be ex-CFL or ex-NFL who still didn't think they fulfilled their careers. So how did you guys decide to roll this out to these group of men?
We followed the traction. So that's what we built the league based on. My business partner, Ryan DePaul, founded this, or started actually as Town Beef recreationally in New Jersey. It was for guys, that were out of high school, that were starting in college, and that still wanted to play football. And it stayed that way. It's a physical sport. You have to be an adult to play our sport. You have to understand the risk. And that's part of it. In the big picture, that's where we found our traction. So the interest was there. Quickly, it expanded to Baltimore. Then we expanded to Orlando, San Diego. Eventually, we brought in ownership into new markets, including Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and a number of others, to now 10 markets across the country.
Wow, yeah. So those 10 markets, we got Vegas, we've got LA, we've got Naptown, we've got Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, DC, Orlando, which also encompasses Tampa as well. We've got Baltimore, obviously back home in Jersey, and then we got Boston with those markets. Did you guys at any point see that the league was not possibly going to be successful? Or did you guys kind of have an inkling of, hey, we rolled this out, man, we could be on to something?
There's always a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and many ups and downs, as any entrepreneur will tell you. But from day one, we both believed and we both put everything into it. So you have to really have that mentality of failure is not an option. It has to be that serious for you. And so we've gotten through those adversities. We'll continue to face them. We're heading into our 10th season. We've heard everything from you won't last the first season to, okay, you made the first season, you won't last the second season,
right,
and you won't get on TV, and, and everything, you won't expand, and everything else, and you have to have thick skin. We built the league from the ground up, bootstrapped it, as any entrepreneur will tell you. That's where you learn every aspect of the business. And that's why today we do everything in-house. And so we sell our sponsorships, we do our media deals, we expand into new markets, we do all of our own marketing, and we produce all of our games, our live content. The amount of experience and value that we've built into this company is tremendous. And any other football league, if they were being honest, would attest to that, because typically you're 100 million, 50 million in your first year, whether you're the USFL, XFL, or name
CFL.
it.
Yeah.
And, of course, without a doubt. And so that's difficult to sustain when you're starting a new league and you have to prove the product and prove the fan base and prove the leadership and prove every other aspect, like I just explained. Well, we've done that. And now we're heading into our 10th season. We're really proud of our team. Most importantly, our athletes. We know we have the sport. Most importantly, our athletes will continue to build on the league and build opportunities for them as we move forward.
Yeah, that's amazing. 10 years on a decade, baby, and you're still going. So let's peel back here a little bit. So we've got the NFL. So they have their draft combine, right? We know everyone meets in Indianapolis, and it moves around to different cities here on the NFL. We know day one, they divide out the DBs, and they divide out the big guys, they divide out the running backs, the QBs, and all that. And they take these guys through a certain combine workout to determine speed, strength, agility, and all that. So if I'm a guy that's looking at the show tonight and I say, hey, Coach Tony, I think that I could play in this 7-on-7, I would like an opportunity. What's training camp like with you, with your franchises? What do the average outside guy looking to get in, are they going to go through in terms of a training camp to be able to make a team?
Good question. The requirements are obviously less than being in the NFL or the CFL. Our guys play on Sunday and they go to work on Monday, which is typical, of football across the country.
Right.
That being said, our coaches are following, and our coaches have experience in traditional football. A7FL football's traditional football, 15-minute quarters.
Okay.
A few key rule changes. We don't kick. We have a unique special teams, which we call the 3-on-1, the most exciting play in football, we believe.
We saw that.
It's one guy who's returning it against the three on the throwing side, and he's either breaking it for a amazing touchdown and amazing play, or it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get a lot of returns. So we have rules that we've proven are awesome. Our coaches adapt quickly to our sport. Our athletes come from flag. They come from semi-pro football. They come from other leagues. Some of them haven't played football at all. Rugby included. You can adapt to our sport, no problem.
Sure, rugby. I can see that, because the biggest difference between you guys and rugby is you actually adopt an NFL/college style. The ball gets tackled. The only difference is with your league, there's no center. The quarterback keeps the ball in his hand, just like we did in the backyard, and he counts. So my question to you is, so when we played, and I grew up in Chicago and whatnot, we used to play, catch a man, kill a man. That's what we called it. And basically we had one guy, what we call the spy, and he spied the quarterback. But he had to get a quarterback of 5,000 count, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, whatever, and then he rushed the quarterback. So is that similar to the street game that you're talking about we grew up? Or is it once the quarterback hikes the ball, he's live just like everybody else?
That's it. This is traditional football. There's no gimmicks. Every aspect of our sport is pure football, the way it was meant to be played. No gimmicks. Now, Snoop Dogg wanted to be the commissioner.
Oh, Snoop, I can see that.
Wanted to own a team. A number of other celebrities and NFL veterans and NFL future Hall of Famers included have shouted us out. NFL coaches, Mike Tice was at our championship. Amazing man. Grateful to him for being there. Coach Mike Tomlin, you saw in the previous video, said, hey, you got to watch these guys. Hey, I might even want to own a team with you, Mike Roethlisberger, he said, in Pittsburgh. So the sport is pure football. It's the nostalgia. But it's obviously you have to be tough. It's a sport for tough guys. And so no gimmicks. We haven't needed any gimmicks to get where we've gotten. And we're not going to ever have any gimmicks, but we're looking forward to working with our celebrities and our NFL vets. You saw Cam Newton shouted us out.
Right.
A number of
Yeah,
grateful.
that was kind of dope with Kim shout out, but more importantly, you talking about Snoop Dogg, baby. You talking about Snoop talking about being the commissioner. You know, that's bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. You know that.
Oh,
And Snoop, what a lot of people don't realize is Snoop has a big situation out in Vegas. We got a question on the floor from Monique, and she says to you on there, Monique, what's going on, girl? Welcome to the Pull Up Podcast Show. You sitting on here with Sener with A7FL, a most unique football for grown men. And like he said, ain't no babies, grown men. But she asked on the question, Sener, is that as you guys start to expand, because we look at the three major markets that's not in there yet. That's New York, Chicago, and of course you got LA with San Diego. But are you guys expanding into like the Chicago market, the New York market, and even where you are right now? Because you guys are actually not in New York. You're headquartered out of Boca Raton, Florida, correct?
That's right. But our football operations take place in New Jersey and southern New Jersey. But yeah, we will expand into Chicago. We'd love to for 2025. That's the opportunity right now. And you can contact us through a7fl.com.
And we're going to put that in the tagline, Val. Make sure you put that in that www.a7fl.com. Make sure you go and look over that. You're interested in playing or grabbing an opportunity in the market, reach out to them. All the information is right there.
That's right, because we're in and around that market already. We're in Cincinnati. We're in Columbus, Ohio, as you mentioned. We're also in Indianapolis. Yeah, and so we'll continue to fill in the gaps across the country. It's a great group of ownership that we have, a diverse group of ownership. Everyone works together. And we're building this league, like I said, from the grassroots, from the bottom up. We've come a long way, especially in the last 3 years with our owners, and looking forward to the next 10 years where we'll be from here. And we have a plan for our future.
Oh man, that's all. So we have another question on the table from Justin Allen. And Justin says, Sener, can you explain to us in terms of injuries? Are there more injuries in the league or less injuries that we see in college or NFL playing in this league?
And so I started to touch on this earlier. We did actually 2 years of a study with the New Jersey Institute of Technology and our sponsor at the time, which included biometric mouth guards. We studied the G-force, the acceleration, the impacts, the number of impacts over the course of 2 seasons on a number of our athletes. But it was a small sample, and we need to continue to do research. That being said, those studies, which are available on our website and online, started to show that elevated safety in the A7FL. When it comes to head safety, all of our athletes had an equivalent level of safety to traditionally the quarterback, which is the most protected position on the field.
Correct.
All of our athletes had that same level of safety compared to traditional football, both in high school and college. We can see it, and you can just watch our game. You'll see our athletes aren't hitting head-to-head on every single play. That's what you see visually over the course of last season. And as we move forward, we're continuing to take the data with our chief medical advisor's guidance. So we'll continue to prove the safety of our sport. I don't have the exact numbers for you.
Right.
But the concept is apples to apples. Yes, A7FL elevates safety compared to traditional football.
Man, that is absolutely right. We're talking to my guy, Sener Korkusuz, here sitting on A7FL. We're going to take a halftime real quick so Val can pay some bills, and we'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your guy, Coach Tony.
Super Bowl. Do you think that Usher was the best, or was it Beyonce, or was it Kira and J-Lo? Who had the best performance?
Oh gosh. So I never say who's the best or who's the worst. I think in each of their own ways, everyone is. To get to play the Super Bowl as an artist in itself is fantastic. I think Usher went through his discography perfectly. Having her come on stage and play the guitar is such a special thing. I think when artists get to invite other artists on stage, it's such a great moment to like share the love and share it. And so every artist, like Coldplay bringing Beyonce and Bruno Mars, he didn't have to. Shakira and J-Lo, right? I think it's really important instead of like, who's the best, getting to realize you could do this moment by yourself and it would still be iconically as good. Usher could have been just himself, like Rihanna did just herself.
Right.
But he chose, especially to bring female artists on the stage. It's just beautiful, beautiful.
Man, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show with my guy, Sener Korkusuz with the A7FL. We were just talking a little bit about the league, the makeup of the league, the cities that we're going to, and everything of that nature. We've gotten some great questions in the audience. I'm surprised, Sener, that my guy is a gentleman named Mark. That's my boy. He's on here every week. I'm surprised he hasn't jumped on to ask you 50 questions, but I'm sure he'll jump in. But there was a question. So Let's go into the makeup to let everyone know this is not a fly-by-night organization. We're talking about 10 years in the making, and we're still growing. So you guys also picked up a huge partner in none other than David Isaac with the UFC. Talk a little bit about that partnership and how that come about.
Great point. And I should have mentioned it earlier. So on many of the subjects we talked about, David Isaacs plays a key role, including that safety aspect. So just like David Isaacs helped co-found the UFC, which made fighting sports safer, MMA compared to boxing, in some ways, apples to apples, believe it or not, is a little safer than your traditional boxing. A7FL did the same for traditional football. And so that's why David joined us. And it's been a big help as we've started to grow the league. With David's help, we've established a number of TV contracts, including Stadium, Fubo, Sports TV, which is owned by Byron Allen Media Group, and a number of others. We're continuing to expand the league with David's help. So David's played a key role in our expansion. Looking forward to the next 10 years together.
Man, that's awesome. And you just hit it on the head. You're talking about Byron Allen, the media mogul. For those that don't know, Byron Allen has ownership in CBS. He has ownership in NBC. He has ownership in ABC. He has ownership in Fox TV. So that's not a platform that Byron is not there, including his own personal network. So he then reaches out, or you guys reach out to him, and then you partner with him on his brand new app, sports.tv. So now it takes this football league to millions of homes worldwide. So how is that partnership going to play positive for you guys in the league?
It's part of our strategy of increasing our distribution. The more places you can find us, the better. Everywhere you turn when it comes to sports, you should find A7FL because our content is that awesome. It performs. Mm-hmm. Football is America's favorite sport.
Correct.
There's many sports in America, and I'll never knock any of them. But you got to admit, apples to apples, football is America's favorite sport. We have an awesome version of American football. It's our own style. It's not a copy of another football or a watered down version. When you see our guys, they're playing their hearts out. And so that's part of our strategy. The more places you can find us, you can't deny us. And we're gonna break down the doors if they're not opening for us through this strategy. Of course, eventually, as we continue to professionalize, you'll find us on all of the major TV sports across the country, and we're working to establish those partnerships.
Man, that is awesome because Byron's going to do that. And as Val get a clip queued up, I think she's got a clip queued up, and I'll let everyone know. Is one of the big boys running a touchdown. Man, this cat was incredible. I mean, because I'm sitting up looking at the concept. You know, we don't kick, we throw, because that's what we did when we were kids. We threw off to the other guys. But the big thing is different is I love how you said it's 3-on-1 on the kickoff coverage. Now, what happens in a situation where time is running out and I need to maybe make an onside kick? How does that work?
That's great that you ask. So we continue to evolve the game. For this season, we'll have our first ever new rule when it comes to adding an onside kick to the A7FL. It's not a kick, part of our 3-on-1 special teams. And so you'll start to see that in effect this season in the fourth quarter when you're able to do that. There's specific rules around that, being able to do an onside play. But you'll see that for the first time. It's going to be an amazing sight to see.
Man, that's awesome because you got to figure that. So let's go back and set the stage for everybody. So we're playing 4 quarters, right?
That's right.
So how many minutes? Because the NFL is 15 minutes. So how many minutes is in the league?
It's the same.
50. Oh, wow. And we are still playing on a 100-yard football field, correct?
That's right.
Now, I did notice something that was kind of unique, though, Sener. You got to explain it to me. I'm watching an NFL game or college, and each team has their particular sideline. But I'm watching your guys, and I'm watching dudes on another team on the field. What's up with that?
I'm not sure what game you were watching, but we have some variability and flexibility. You know, I won't say that we're 100% buttoned up and perfect across the board in all that. We're building the league as we go. We're making it fun. So yeah, you'll see everyone from sometimes fans to athletes running up and down the sidelines. You would have saw Coach Mike Tice running down the sideline of our championship because it's hard to contain the excitement when you see our guys. You feel like I could be on the field, and you say, hey, you can see our athletes' faces. It's a big difference, just the emotion and the feeling that you get when you're around the A7FL, when you're around your local team and you're rooting for your stars. It's special. Yeah. And so we're going to keep building on this.
Oh yeah. I mean, trust me, I get it. I remember playing back as a kid because at one point, you're a Jersey boy, like I'm from the Chi. So, the best part of that part is in the wintertime for football was snow, baby. You get tired, you may get a couple of snow shoved in your face. You know what I'm saying? So your nose may be frozen, your hands are frozen. But hey, we stayed out there and we played that in the park, man, and that was absolutely awesome. Val, if you got that clip queued up with just one of the big guys on a kickoff, go ahead and play that. I think she was working on it, see if she's got it. Well, maybe not. So we'll get to it as she let me know. But the thing,
saw that video, at least 20 million already.
Yeah, 20 million at least.
A lot of
big
people
boy,
know what you're talking about. That's the video.
Yeah, he got a touchdown. I'm like, no one was bringing him down. Nobody was bringing him down at all, which is great. And, that's unique. Yeah, there he is. Look at this right there. Look at that. That's incredible. But, the unique part about the league, too, is there's no designated positions. I noticed that. So this cat's got to be at least 6'4", 6'5", 350. Look at it. Oh my goodness. He may get a call up from the league.
And I wouldn't say there's no designated positions. That's your running back right there. But yeah, you might see him behind the quarterback every now and then as well. So it's just there's flexibility there. Don't forget, and I'll say it again, our guys are playing on Sunday and they're working on Monday. They're doing whatever it takes to win. But always with sportsmanship, continuing to build the positivity. Our athletes come from a lot of tough places across the country. A lot of tough cities, Baltimore, Cincinnati, etc. Everyone that we're in is a tough city. And so we do a lot of good in the communities, and we'll keep building it. We're going to expand. There's other groundbreaking innovations to come.
So that's all.
Done enough already, but we have a lot up our sleeve as we move forward.
I'm loving it. I'm actually glad I'm a part of it. I'm glad I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm here for you, man. I'm glad we put this on the podcast. We got my guy, Sener Korkusuz, tonight with the A7FL on none other than your boy's show, the Pull Up Podcast Show with Coach Tony. And we have got a phenomenal question. Miss Monique Thurman says, this is completely awesome, Sener. But the question I've got for you is, are you already introducing this concept to community rec centers in multiple cities? And are coaches that are offering football to kids at different levels, including, for example, flag football? If so, how do you do that and how can they receive it? So in other words, if the game that you're producing or you're putting on is trying to get the American to love it, are we introducing this all the way down to the community, rec center? Because we, like you mentioned earlier, that's that Pop Warner situation. And if you're introducing at that level, you're probably taking some kids away from Pop Warner.
Great question. And I was going to touch on this, and I'm happy you beat me to it. So like I started to mention, we will continue to expand and innovate, including the development of the youth format of American Sevens football. And TBD what that is going to be exactly, but it's going to be the perfect format, which we have many discussions and options on how we move forward for the youth, specifically designed. And not only that, we'll roll out the women's A7.
Ooh, yeah.
That both at the adult level and at the youth level. And now we cover from the youth to the adult, and we continue to professionalize the sport. And so this is bringing the football back the way it was meant to be played. It's a grassroots movement. Really, nothing's going to stop us. That's how we feel. We believe that. And we'll keep building on that with the support of our athletes, our owners across the country who market our teams and work with the communities across the country. Our sponsors, including our newest sponsor for our uniforms, Berserk Athletics, Scene, Locticians.
Yes, wrap, do the ankles and wrap these guys' ankles up. Yes.
That's right. These are small businesses that are supporting the growth of this league. Over 800 investors through over 2 years ago, our first investment campaign, crowdfunding through Start Engine, helped us to get where we are today. Every step of the way, we've received the support we've needed to overcome our obstacles. Grateful for that support. And so just like our athletes are working to win the championship, we're working to keep building the professional American Sevens Football League.
Man, that is absolutely awesome. And Monique, I hope that he answered that question because, again, you already know, Sener, I'm a basketball guy, and we've benefited because of the concussion protocol on football. So basketball is the fastest growing sport worldwide outside of soccer because of the concussion protocol. So we had another question in here as to the concussion protocol and injury protocol. Have you guys compared that to college football and slash the NFL in terms of injuries that your guys are receiving? And the question also was the type of injuries that are being seen at the 7-on-7, what are they compared to the NFL and college football?
Great question. And, it's always going to be a question of safety. First, it's, hey, I love this game. I played like this when I was younger. Oh, or it's these guys are barbarians. They're crazy. Why do they play like this?
Right.
Insane. They're going to bash their heads in. They're going to have brain damage. Why are we going into our 10th season? Because you just have to watch our game and see for yourself.
There you go.
We have $1 million to put into scientific research. But I can tell you what we have done in terms of the research. I can tell you the game visually, when you watch it, is you're going to see it's no head-to-head contact in terms of compare that to any NFL, college, or youth Pop Warner game, and it's 100% the opposite.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And you can't get any better than that. We're talking to my guy on the Pull Up Podcast show, Sener Korkusuz, with the A7FL. We're going to go into the fourth quarter. Val, let's pay our last bill of the night. We'll be right back to the show.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAT. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. Key Spot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. Key Spot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Man, we got to get. I checked in the game too early. We got to get Key Spot with us. Talking to my guy Sener Korkusuz with the A7FL. So let's come down this fourth quarter here. It's the fourth quarter push, just like in the game. We either gonna win or we're gonna lose tonight. I'm always winning, Sener, so I'm always winning, by the way. But let's talk about the future of the actual game. So if you are an investor, if you are a sponsor, if you are a brand, if you are anyone out there with a product and you think that this A7FL could help you and your brand, or you would like to be part of this, make sure you reach out to Sener and his guys over at A7FL by going to www.a7fl.com and reaching out to him and find out how you can support the league. So, Sener, let's talk about now the future in terms of, we got Byron Allen sitting there with AMG, right? Got the media group that's right there pushing us out. We've got other cities that we're going to launch. We're in 34 markets, 34 teams, 10 markets right now. How many more markets are you guys looking to expand? And then how many more teams are we looking to do? Are we looking to go 5 or 6 more markets to get up to 40 teams? What are we looking at?
Good question. We designed the league with flexibility built in. So I don't have an exact number of what we're going to get up to in terms of our growth. We still have plenty of room to go, put it that way. We're going to fill in many of the markets that we're not in yet, obviously. We're not in Texas. We're not in Chicago, that was mentioned. We're not in Arizona. We're not in Pennsylvania. So there's a number of great markets. We're not in the Carolinas, and we're having discussions in and around all of these markets, including Atlanta and a number of others, including up and down Florida from Miami to Jacksonville, really all over the country. And there's room for that expansion. So in the end, in each of our markets, you can easily see over 1,000 athletes as we continue to build out the league. And if you do the math, that's going to be tens of thousands of athletes participating in A7FL. I saw a question earlier. Right now, all of our athletes are participating. They're amateurs who are paying a small fee as part of their registration into the A7FL. And so, believe it or not, our athletes are not being paid to play. They're working on Monday, they're playing on Sunday. Yet our highlights are that amazing. Our athletes are that amazing that you'll find them on SportsCenter, Bleacher Report, Barstool Report, and Barstool Sports, and a number of others, because our sport is that exciting. And so as we continue to grow the league, all of our games will continue to get elevated. We'll continue to do bigger TV deals, and you'll start to find us in more and more places across the country.
Oh yeah, and exciting. And you and I talked a little bit about the HBCU movement in terms of the participation and what we're trying to go there. How did the HBCU factor kind of come about?
Great question. So we've always been interested in working with HBCUs. We'll continue to work on those partnerships. Through our partnership with Allen Media Group, it does get us a lot of exposure to HBCUs. We have a new partnership soon to be announced which continues on that strategy. And so we envision A7FL, we always did, as a sport that plays perfectly out of HBCUs in cooperation, amplifying the opportunities for our athletes, for the community at large. And so welcoming to all of those opportunities, and you can reach us at a7fl.com.
Yeah, that's great. So let's expand on that a little bit. So we're looking at a league that's roughly about 70% African Americans that are athletes that are playing. But then the information talks a little bit about pretty much the viewership is about 70% Caucasian Americans. But I know you and I talked a little bit about that information could be a little skewed because there's a lot of African Americans and brown and black brothers are actually watching the league in whole, correct?
That's right. Yeah. In general, the population wise, in terms of the African American audience, we're over indexed. So a huge component of our fans are African American, bottom line. Our athletes, a majority are African American. And so it's only fitting that in the end, we have as much distribution as possible to this audience, right? We're open for business. We're welcoming all of those partnerships. We're working to continue to develop them. Like I said, we're doing everything in-house. And so we'll build on that. We'll really start to take off as we move forward. And grateful to Byron Allen for supporting us.
Yeah, Byron is going to be huge. And welcome aboard here, my girl, the queen herself, April. Got to say what's up to Sharon. She's a West Coast girl, got a lot of contacts. So I'm glad she's on the show tonight. You know, and then Val, I want you to put that photo back up that had the sponsorship with Cam Newton and the guys and that you had a moment ago. We really want to touch on this. So we've got a league. And I want everybody to really understand. Let's go back and make sense of what Sener's been talking about all night. We got a backyard football game that when mom and daddy used to put the meat on the grill, told you guys to get outside and go do something. You played football in the backyard and then you grew the sport. And they have now grown the sport to where it's a multi-million-dollar sport in terms of getting it on national TV. And now we look at support right here, and we're looking at guys like Cam Newton saying, this is the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen. Cam Chandler saying, this is awesome. Tyrann Matthews is saying, hey, you know, I wish I'd have known about the league as I retired. And of all people, Michael Vick. And Vic said, this is tremendous. And then you get your boy, who's still a coach with Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, says, how can I buy a team? Are you starting to see a lot of the NFL guys. And if that's the case, Taylor Swift, hello, the Swifties, the Swifties, the Swifties. I'm calling y'all. I need you. I need Kelsey. I need all y'all right here on A7FL and get involved in the league.
Oh, I'd love it. And that's what we're working on. We haven't needed it. Of course, that would be, a major milestone, to say the least, for us. But, the way that we're building this is we're all on an equal footing. Everybody helps build the league together. All of our ownership work together. We, just like I said, just like our athletes on the field are playing to win the championship, we're working and playing to build this league. And so we like to keep it fun. It would be great to have Kelsey's, the Jake Paul brothers, a number of other interesting creative partnerships we're looking forward to.
I mean, that's great. We got my guy Ifasa and D. Curtis checking in tonight with Coach Tony and my guy Sener here on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Once again, make sure you like us, share the show, and do anything, subscribe. Sener, if you had to have a group of investors in an elevator, and you're going from the 30th floor down to street level, you had to give them a quick 30-second pitch to talk about the A7FL. This is your opportunity. What would you tell them about the league, and why would they want to be involved? And more importantly, tell the people that's listening, why would they want to watch the league as it opens up?
Look, do you like football? We created the most amazing style of football, if you can believe it. No pads, no helmets, tackle football. We're expanding it across the country. We have 34 teams and over 1,000 athletes in 10 markets right now. But I need your investment to take it to the next level. Help us build the professional American Sevens Football League. And it's straightforward. It's pretty simple. This is a fun business. You're already a successful person, okay? And we'd love to have you on board. Sports is a business for successful people. You're already successful in your existing business if you're going to own in sports. And so we have to keep it fun, and that's what we're doing. And that's what you're going to see on opening day, March 24th. Join us, watch us on Stadium, watch us on Caffeine, watch us on Sports TV and a number of other distributions, including YouTube and Twitch. We'll have creators who are about to announce very shortly who will be streaming and co-streaming our games to millions of viewers and fans across the country. Be one of them. Don't miss out on our opening day. We have 3 amazing games for you, 9 hours of football. This is spring football. Everybody's hungry for football, and you don't have to wait anymore. Watch the A7FL on March 24th.
Yeah, I like that. So the second two questions here as we wrap up. One, so the league is in the off season of the NFL, correct?
That's right.
So what's the length of the season? So we're starting here March 29th, and the season is going to run from what?
So from March 24th to July 21st. It's a 12-week season currently.
Perfect.
Some off weeks there for the holidays. And so we'll be announcing the location of our championship as well as we move forward within the next few weeks. So stay tuned for some big announcements.
So, and then another question came in and says, if I'm watching this game in my particular area, so if I'm from Columbus, Ohio, or if I'm from Bmore or Orlando area, is there a cost for me to go watch a game? So in other words, is there an admission cost to go watch a game, or are the games free on site?
Yeah. So you can purchase tickets to the game on site or online at a7fl.com, and you'll be able to find all the information there.
Man, I'm telling you, you guys, oh man, when blind, you guys have no idea the opportunity for I would have never completely imagined in my wildest dream that an opportunity for a sport that I played as a kid is now a major sport. We have been talking to my guy, Sener Korkusuz, with the A7FL Football League. Man, I appreciate you stopping by the Pull Up Podcast show tonight. It's been absolutely awesome.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Tony.
Man, you know, it's good. And make sure as the league start to move forward, we get into the season, I want you to come back because I want to see, you know, as we get into May and June and July, I want to find out, you know, like the championship game, man, I want to know more about it. And by the way, if you are a sponsor or want to be a sponsor and you want to know how to get in touch with Sener, you can also reach out to me at the Pull Up Podcast Show. Reach out to Coach Tony on at Chillman7 on the Twitter, and you will be able to catch up with me, or you can just simply catch me here on a weekly basis. Also, the Rise NIL, that will make sure if you want to catch up and you've got a young athlete that needs to get branding, an opportunity to have a branded NIL deal, please reach out to me on the NIL at www.therisenil.com, and we'll be able to talk a little bit more about that. Hey, Brother Sener, thank you so much for stopping by tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to have you on the show.
Thank you, Tony. Have a great night.
Hey, you do the same. We'll be back at you, man. Have a good one. Hey, you guys have enjoyed the Pull Up Podcast show. This has been a blast tonight with my guy, Sener Korkusuz, with the A7FL. This has been absolutely phenomenal. You've been watching your boy, one and only, Coach Tony, on the Pull Up Podcast show. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night with my girl, Val the Voice, on INTERLUDES Talk on Tuesday, as we continue to support Women's Month and Women in History. We talk a little bit about the Oscars last night, and I want to find out from Val what she thought about the 45th having a little negative comment to my boy Jimmy Kimmel. But again, thank you for tuning in to the Pull Up Podcast show. But you know my words. Peace, and I'm out.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, I said bounce the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast.